In this tutorial, we're going to discuss how to detect the difference between a well-cut and a poorly cut gemstone. We will explain how to recognize a window gem, facets that don't meet, poor polish, and crooked girdles. This will help you distinguish between well-cut gems and poorly cut ones. One of the most common signs of poor cuttings is the window. In many cases, such as this, you can actually read through the gem. So what makes a gem have a window? A gem is windowed because it is cut at the wrong angles. This is usually due to either primitive equipment or an attempt to get as large a gem as possible out of the rough with a disregard to optics and proper cutting angles. In this illustration, the orange line shows the path the light follows through the gem. You can see that in this gem, which is cut with angles that are too shallow, the light goes directly through without coming back. This creates a window and reduces the total brilliance of the gem. In contrast, this gem is cut at the proper angles, and the light which enters the gem is returned back in brilliance and beauty to the viewer. Another way to recognize a window is when you see a ring of brilliance around the outside of the gem and the middle is dead or dull looking, like the gem shown here. Here is another gem with a window, or a blank middle, which is also known as a fisheye. Here are two examples of gems that are well cut and no fish are involved. Fantasy cut gems have a whole set of rules of their own. They sometimes will use windows as a design element, and since they are cut for artistic purposes, this is acceptable if the overall effect is attractive. Meat points are best seen using partially reflected light, like the whitish facets in this picture. This allows you to see how the corners of the facets meet, or the meet point. Straight lines and good meet points are a sign of quality in a well-cut gem. Another sure sign of sloppy cutting is a poor, scratchy polish, like this. It is best to examine the polish with some magnification and using partially reflected light as when checking the meet points. To give a gem a high polish takes 3 to 10 times longer. That's why lines that meet and polish are some of the easiest ways to see how much time and care was taken during the lapidary process. Also, check the girdle, which is the widest part of the gem. Think of it like a belt that goes around the middle of the gemstone. The girdle should be straight and of an even thickness all the way around the gem. This is important because the girdle is where the gem is gripped by the prongs when it is set in jewelry. If poorly cut gems like these seem familiar to you, don't be surprised. The great majority of gems on the market today are poorly cut. Most are cut overseas using antiquated equipment where speed is of more importance than bringing out the gem's maximum beauty. Hasty and careless cutting results in windows, crooked meet points, and scratchy polish. On the other hand, a well-crafted gem is a thing of rare beauty, and all the extra lapidary care and skill which is required is well worth it. So remember, when selecting your next gemstone, take an extra look at the middle of the gem, the meet points, the girdle, and the polish.